Dave and Josh. Wanted to clarify something. Josh and I have had a couple of conversations about project planning and things like that, and hadn't had a chance to talk to both of you. So there may have been some messages that I sent out to both of you referencing this, but wanted to make sure I had some time to provide full context to this to both of you. So I think one of the key things that we've been missing in the youth ministry has been a really good project planning process. And as a result, we've kind of made some decisions at the last minute. We got stuck and also had some levels of frustration. So um, when Josh and I initially met about this, we were talking, and one of the things that I proposed was coming up with an annual calendar of project planning to make sure that we are on top of things and we're not waiting too long to come up with the plan. So the idea that we came up with is let's get together and have one big meeting where we map out every single event that needs a project plan, the deadline for creating that project plan, and then also schedule a meeting where you can present that project plan to me. Um, Reason I think this is important is that this is one of those things that is always important but never urgent, and it gets bumped back, and we end up just project planning at the last minute, and we don't have a lot of things done far in advance like we need them to be done. This was always an issue with impact when last year we didn't have enough girls leaders, and it was like 2 weeks before and we were like, oh crap, we don't have enough girls leaders. One of the big things that I think has come up multiple times with our planning with impact has been we wait to start planning for impact until after the weekend, the winter retreat or weekend experience. So we get through March, we go through the weekend, and have a great experience, and everybody's completely tapped out and exhausted and behind on all of their normal stuff. So we get through weekend, we survive, we take a comp day, we take some time to recover, we take some time to catch up on everything, and then we quickly get to the point where it's, oh crap, now we got to do impact, and we start scrambling. So I would honestly like us to start project planning for impact significantly before the weekend experience happens so that we can get some things rolling. And there's some key things that need to happen with impact very early and before weekend starts, such as booking your speaker. That's something, if we're trying to get a good speaker, we need to book that far in advance and make sure we get it on people's calendar. So really that should be happening probably in November, December, January to try to get that all lined up and get someone to clear their calendar. The problem is we've been waiting for for entirely too long before we book somebody, and we always end up kind of going with that default person, like, oh, who's local and who can we get, and then we end up with John Schaefer. John Schaefer's great, nothing against John, but that's kind of been our go-to. Like, we have no one else, so let's just use John. Um, I don't even know how many times we've used John, but I know that that has been a situation that has happened. So, my goal in this is to really have a good plan and have the entire year mapped out of when we need to start thinking about this. And the goal to have these meetings where you present the project plan is we get it on the calendar far in advance. And I'm meeting with both of you, and you're coming to just present this, walk me through it step by step. And that provides a level of accountability because I'm walking into that meeting and I'm expecting to have a project plan. If there is no project plan, then I'm coming to that meeting for no reason. So it provides a built-in accountability process to make sure that you've hit your deadline on making that project plan and you're ready to present it to me by that deadline. So few things that need to happen. Number one, we need to schedule that initial meeting where we map out all of the key events. And I'd like for you guys to come into that meeting with a plan, all the key events that need project plans, your deadlines for making the project plan, and a proposal for when we can have those meetings for you to present it to me. And then after that, we have to continue to have those meetings to present the project plans. The one for weekend needs to happen very, very quickly. We're probably behind on that. I know that you guys have a project plan that you've been working and things like that, but I'd like to see it and kind of give an extra set of eyes on it to see if there's anything missing so that we're not surprised by anything. And then we also need to quickly do a project plan for impact because we're probably behind on that. So that's the overall vision, why I think it's important. the lack of project planning has caused us to function in emergency mode and just trying to survive with some key things. Overall, you guys have done 90% of everything really, really well, and you're tracking really well. But that last 10% that gets forgotten about or gets neglected for a period of time is what causes a lot of frustration and a lot of chaos at the last minute. So I'd like to eliminate that so that you guys can function at your best and really give your attention to the things that you need to give your attention to, not just putting out fires or responding to the urgent things when we come up on these big events. Our events have been awesome. Weekend's been awesome. Impact has been awesome. You guys are doing a great job running the events, but I'd like to see you functioning at a higher level where you can lead at a higher level and you're not just trying to keep your head above water for those last 2 weeks. Leading up to an event, so that you can go in with a clear mind, so that you can hear from God. So this is really my goal for you. I think this is a really good step. It's also going to clarify who's responsible to do what, and I think it will remove some tension between the two of you, or some conflict, or we've also had some things come up where you're frustrated because Brendan said that he'd do this and then it didn't happen, and you kind of had a verbal agreement. This outlines it all, it maps it all out. The two of you can have a little bit more agreement on things, buy off on it, and we'll be in good shape. So that's kind of the overall vision. Love to meet with you guys next week. I'm sorry, not next week, the following week when I get back from vacation and map all this out. I'm looking for you guys to have a good plan to bring to the meeting. I don't want to do the planning in that meeting, but bring it there. This is kind of the model for those project planning meetings where it's an accountability piece, but come with your proposal of all the events that we need to project plan, what your deadline for the project plan is, and then a proposal of when we can actually have that meeting. We'll talk about it, we'll agree on it, and then we'll move forward. If you guys need anything or have any questions, just let me know.